Right, so I've gone to a new page now, so you'll notice these ones are different. So I just wanted to mark them and check we were doing them correctly before we have a look at these monsters over here. Right? Now, let's forget about the roots first. Let's forget about the power of a third, power of a sixth, power of a third, power of a third, and let's just tackle inside the root sign first and then sort out that root power. So here I've got basically 4 to the power 9 multiplied by a squared to the power 9, which is a to the power 18. So on your bit of paper, write that down, okay? 4 to the power 9 times by a to the power 18. Now we have to find the cube root of that, right? Which is the same as dividing by the power of 3. Don't forget, a cube root is a power of a third, which means dividing by 3. So you can have on your bit of paper 4 to the power of 9 over 3 times by a to the power of 18 over 3. And of course, 9 divided by 3 is 3, so that's 4 cubed. 4 cubed is 64. And 18 divided by 3 is 6, so that's a to the power 6. You might want to pause the video now and go through that again, right, on your bit of paper and check you know where these numbers come from. These are not easy, okay? Right, this one here, forget the sixth root a minute, let's just figure this out here. Because I'm powering a power, I have to multiply 2/5 by 7. And of course, when you multiply a fraction by a whole, you just multiply the numerator by that number. So on your bit of paper, to expand this bracket, you've got b to the power of 14 over 5. Now we're taking the sixth root of that, which means we are multiplying by a power of a sixth, or easier way to think of it is we are dividing by the power of 6. So I've got b to the 14 over 5 multiplied by a sixth. And if you write that down on your bit of paper and work it out, you end up with b to the power of 14 over 30, because 6 times 5 is 30. And 14 over 30 simplifies to 7 over 15. This one here is a little bit easier. C to the 9 divided by c to the 3, subtract the powers, is c to the 6. The cube root of c to the 6 is c to the power 6 over 3, and 6 over 3 is 2, so that's just c squared. And then this last one here, let's deal with the integers first. 8 times 27 is 216. Write that down. D to the 6 times d to the minus 5. Add those up, you just get d to the 1. So this here, under the root simplified, is 216d. And we have to find the cube root of that. The cube root of 216 is 6. And the cube root of d is d to the power of 1/3. So drum roll, please. Have I got those right? Yes, okay. Right, on to the last thing. I know this has been a long vid, but you're doing really well for keeping up. And this is A star work, basically. This will come up on the end, towards the end of the higher tier paper, on the non-calculated as well. And you effectively have to split these powers up and apply each part to the number individually, right? So think of this 16 to the power of 3 over 2 as being 16 to the power of a half and then cubed. So 16 to the power of a half is the square root of 16, which is 4, and then 4 cubed is 64. Here again, let's deal with the minus first. The minus just reciprocates this, right? A negative indice just reciprocates what you have. So the 1 over 64 becomes 64 over 1, which is just 64, and we've got rid of the minus. The power of a half means square root, so they're just asking for the square root of 64, which is 8. This one here, again, let's deal with the minus first. So that reciprocates what we have. Reciprocate 1 over 125, and you're just left with 125. That's got rid of the minus. Now let's do the cube root. The cube root of 125 is 5. And now let's square that answer. 5 squared is 25. Right, nearly there, right. Okay, now because this isn't a fraction to start with, I'm going to reciprocate it last, right? I'm going to leave that till last. First of all, I'm going to tackle the power of a third. That's the cube root. So the cube root of 216 is 6. I'm then going to square that answer to deal with this power. 6 squared is 36. Then I'll deal with the minus power and reciprocate it to get 1 over 36. This one, I've got to apply all of this to both numbers. Okay, so step at a time. Let's do the cube root first. The cube root of 27 is 3. The cube root of 64 is 4. So jot down on your bit of paper. I'm going to do the same. Here's my bit of paper. Okay, so jot down on your bit of paper that we now have 3 over 4 in brackets, and that's to the power of minus 4. So pretend that isn't there now. That's a 3 and that's a 4. Right. Now let's deal with the power 4. So I've got to do 3 to the power 4, which is 81. And I've got to do 4 to the power 4, which is, I don't know, 4 times 4 is 16, 64 times 4, 256. So I've dealt with the power 4 and I've got 81 over 256. Now I need to reciprocate that to get rid of that minus power. So it's 256 over 81. Now that's correct, right? The correct answer is 256 over 81, but they want it as a mixed number. So 256 divided by 81, that's 3 whole ones. 3 81s are 243. So how many's left over? 13. 3 whole ones and 13 256. I think that might be correct. Alright, let's tackle this last one. We have an improper fraction. So the first thing I need to do, we have a mixed number. The first thing we have to do is turn it into an improper fraction. So 2 1/4 is 9 over 4. So on your bit of paper, you need 9 over 4 in brackets, all to the power of 3 over 2. Let's deal with the square root, the power of a half. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 4 is 2. So that gives me 3 over 4 all cubed left. 3 cubed is 27. And 2 cubed is 8. So the answer is 27 over 8. But they want that as a mixed number. So 8 into 27 goes 3. So that's 3 whole ones with 3 left over. So that's 3 and 3/8. Alright, let's see if we got them right. Oh, I forgot to change that bottom number to 81 instead of 256. Right, brilliant. Okay, well you can see the error I made there. We did all the maths correct, but I reciprocated the fraction and it was over 81, not 256. So don't make that mistake when you do it. Now that's a long vid, kids. That took me I'm looking at the clock, 22 minutes to go through that. So you're looking at a good hour to get these 3 mymaths tasks done correctly and get a green on all of them, which is what I expect. Okay, take your time. It might take more than one go, but please do your very, very best to get a green on each, especially the first 2. And then tomorrow you're going to have another task on manga about fractional indices, which will really improve the depth of knowledge on it. And you'll have an optional Corbett task then on Thursday. And because it's optional, I pretty much guarantee what most of you will do. It'll be back to the live lesson then next Monday, same time I think, 11 o'clock, and you'll have notifications on Google Classroom. Hope you're all okay. Any questions, just send me a message in the Google Classroom feed. Take care. See you soon. Goodbye.